Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. It's October 3rd, 2021, and this is our monthly first Sunday of the month Greenwich Village Folk Festival. Tonight we have a very special event, historic, you might say. It's a Phil Ochs song night in which each of our performers will be doing a couple songs by Phil and one of their own. And joining us in a couple of minutes will be Sonny Ochs to co-host. Before we do that, let me say thank you to a couple of people who make all of this possible. First of all, our sound technician, Brandon O'Sullivan, our web people, Jerry Kornbluth and Andrea Klosky, and our co-MCs tonight, Christine Lavin and Ron Olesko, will be joining Sonny in hosting the concert. Tonight, you'll be seeing a pretty amazing lineup of people from England: Martyn Joseph, Colleen Kattau, Reggie Harris, SONiA, Disappear Fear, John Flynn, Holly Near, Greg Greenway, Emma's Revolution, Tom Paxton, and Zach Stevenson. What a lineup. I'll tell you, I'm excited about seeing this show. Now, Sonny asked me if I would play a song for you guys to start things off, so I'm going to do exactly that, and then Sonny will join us in a couple of minutes. Come on and take a walk with me through this green and growing land. Walk through the meadows and the mountains and the sands. Walk through the valleys and the rivers and the plains. Walk through the sun and walk through the rain. Here's a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power must rest on the strength of her freedom. Glory shall rest on us all. From Colorado, Kansas, and the Carolinas to Virginia and Alaska, the old and the new, Texas, Ohio, and the California shore. Tell me who could ask for more. Here's a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Glory shall rest on us all. Yet she's only as rich as the poorest of the poor, only as free as the padlocked prison door, only as strong as our love for this land, only as tall as we stand. Here's the land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Glory shall rest on us all. Come on and take a walk with me through this green and growing land. Walk through the meadows and the mountains and the sand. Walk through the valleys and the rivers and the plains. Walk through the sun and walk through the rain. Here is the land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Glory shall rest on us all, on us all. Thank you. Please welcome Sonny Ochs.
Okay. Well, what I wanted to say was that the first Phil Ochs song night ever took place at the Speakeasy on October 6, 1983. That's 38 years ago. And it was just amazing how many people were there. A lot of guys from the Sloop Singers, the Hudson River Sloop Singers. But the most amazing thing was, guess who was in that first show? MacDonald. I can't believe it. Here we are 38 years later and still singing Phil's songs. And Rod, I love you. We've done a lot of stuff over the years together, and you're the best. And thank you,
Sonny.
Thank you for having us on the Greenwich Village Folk Festival.
I remember that night. It was great fun, wasn't it?
Sure was.
All right, well, have a great show, everybody. Love you too, Sonny.
Okay, and the first person we're bringing up, and the reason he's first, he's coming to us from Wales, all the way across the ocean, and he's an amazing folk singer, songwriter, and he's been at it for about 30 years. He has many, many CDs out. But the thing that I love best about this guy, his name is Martyn Joseph. He has started an organization called Let Yourself Trust. When the show's over, I want you to go to martynjoseph.net and check out his website. Let Yourself Trust is an amazing thing that he's created, where they give money to individual people who are trying to do great things in different places. They've given money to places like Nepal, Haiti, Guatemala, Palestine, Canada, Uganda, you name it, all around the world. Every 6 months they choose a different recipient. For example, I know he tried to help one guy in Palestine start giving books out to children. He's just done so much. And not to mention the fact he's a great singer. Oh, and the other thing about Martyn, he put out a CD of Phil's songs, 14 songs, called Days of Decision, which is just amazing. So without further ado, Martyn, I love you. How wonderful you are.
Thank you, Sonny. Thank you very much. Greetings, everybody from Wales, where it's way past my bedtime, but I'm very happy to be here. In many a time, many a land, with many a gun in many a hand, they came by the night, they came by the day, they came with their guns to take us away. With that knock on the door, the knock on the door, here they come to take one more. Back in the days of the Roman Empire, they died by the cross and they died by the fire. In that stone Colosseum, the crowd gave a roar, and it all began with that knock on the door, that knock on the door, the knock on the door. Here they come to take one more. Years have all passed, we've reached modern times. Nazis have come with their Nazi war crimes. Yes, the power was there, and the power was found. 6 million people heard the same sound. That old knock on the door, that knock on the door. Here they come to take one more, just one more. Now there's many new words, there's many new names. The banners have changed, but that knock sounds the same. On the Soviet shores, with right on their side, I wonder who knows how many have died with their knock on the door. Knock on the door, here they come to take one more, just one more. Look over the oceans, look over the lands, look over those leaders with that blood on their hands, and open your eyes. Go see what they do when they knock over your friend, they're knocking for you. That knock on the door, that knock on the door, here they come to take one more. Yeah, that knock on the door, the knock on the door, here they come to take one more. Just one more, and then just one more. One more, one more. Back in 1993, I was touring America with the Irish band Clannad, and I got to play in Boston. And the next day there was a very nice review of the show, and they even gave me a couple of lines. They said that I was a profound experience. And I was quite Phil Ochs-ish, and I thought, that's really lovely, but who the hell is Phil Ochs? So to my shame. So I went and bought some albums, vinyl in a day, and I listened, and I was blown away by Phil's repertoire and his rapport and his big heart for justice. And that was great, and I carried that with me for many years and just enjoyed his music. And then I guess it's about 8 years ago now, I'm checking into Folk Alliance, that annual gathering of us all, and there was this lady checking me in, a very young-looking lady with a badge on it that said Sonny Ochs. And I said, I don't suppose you're related to Phil in any way, almost sarcastically. And she said, yes, I'm his sister. And that was the beginning of a lovely friendship, and Sonny encouraged me to do a whole album of Phil's songs. So this is one I want to play. Well, I didn't have all the good ones. All the ones I wanted to sing were already taken, but even so, I'm very happy with the ones that I'm allowed to sing. And this was a song as I was recording that really choked me up. It was at the time when you had that lunatic for a president, and this was a song about a man that had incredible potential. And of course, his brother Bobby too was taken from you. And at the time when I was singing these words, it really did break me up. So I'm happy that things have changed somewhat. But this is that was the president. Oh, the bullets of the false revenge have struck us once again, as the angry seas have struck upon the sand. And it seems as though a friendless world has lost itself a friend. Well, that was the president, and that was the man. And I can still see him smiling there and waving at the crowd as he drove through the music of the band, and never even knowing that no more time would be allowed, not for that president and not for the man. Here's a memory to share, here's a memory to save, of the sudden early ending of command. Yet a part of you and a part of me is buried in his grave. That was the president, and that was the man. And it's not only for the leader that the sorrow hits so hard, and there are greater things that I will never understand. How a man so filled with life that even death was caught off guard. Yeah, that was the president, and that was the man. And everything that he might have done, and all that he could have been, it was proven by the troubled trader's hand. For what other death could wound the hearts of so many men? That was the president, and that was the man. Yet the glory that was Lincoln's, it never died when he was slain. It's been carried over time and time again. And so to that list of honor, you may add another name. For that was your president, and that was the man. Yeah, that was the president, and that was the man. Thank you. Well, could possibly cheer you up with one of my songs, but that's not really going to happen, I'm afraid. I had a review in '92 where Melody Maker said I made Leonard Cohen sound like Julie Andrews. So I'm going to sing you one of my songs, and I will stick around for a while, but you'll have to forgive me as I will probably drift off to bed at some point in the next half hour or so. But I'm honored to be part of this Greenwich Folk Festival, a tribute to Phil Ochs, and thank you for having a Welshman here amongst you, and I look forward to touring your beautiful, wonderful land, hopefully, and you can come over here in the not too distant future. So I'll leave you with this one. I need you brave, I want you brave, I need you strong to sing along, for you are beautiful and I'm not wrong. Even today this timeline is fine, enough for us to find a path ahead and let the whole thing roll on. But if you are drifting away, if everything's falling apart, just let yourself be quietly drawn by the stronger call of all you really love. And let your soul, the one that you've brought with you safe to this moment in time, let it whisper to all of your fear and let it wrestle with the noise of the night for you. If we could just step outside and look at ourselves for a moment, we could see there's a different way that we can be. Don't expect to find all the answers of this world, 'cause if you could somehow and then you did, tell me, who the hell would you be? Are you drifting away and you're falling apart? Just let yourself be quietly drawn by the stronger call of what you really love, and let your soul, it's the one that you've brought with you safe to this moment in time, let it whisper to all of your fear, let it wrestle with the noise of the night for you. And in the midst of these moments, well, it's like we've never left. But there's a lifetime of returning, and we're not home yet. My friends, we are not home yet. I need you brave, I want you brave, I need you strong. When you sing along, it sounds so beautiful, and for once I am not wrong. And you can bring it on, we'll throw everything, 'cause in the end love wins big, and there are millions of us with no intention of lying down. But if you are drifting away and everything feels like it's falling apart, I know, you just let yourself be quietly drawn by the stronger call of everything that you love, and let your soul, it's the one that you've brought with you safe to this moment in time. Let it whisper to your fear and wrestle with the noise of the night. Let it whisper to all of your fear and wrestle with the noise of the night for you. Amen, Shanti, Shalom, and Shalom. You can shoot us, lynch us high, run us down, you don't get far. You could board up every window to all the light there could ever be, but you will never find the silence of love's majority. That's you and me. Thank you.
Thank you, Martyn Joseph. Oh, well, I hope some of our viewers will check out your website, martynjoseph.net. I understand you've got a new CD coming out in November, 1960 it's called. And I'm looking forward to being able to play that on the radio. So thanks so much for being with us tonight. And I know it's getting late out there, but that was just wonderful.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, also, I want to highly recommend Martyn's album, Days of Decision, a tribute to Phil Ochs, which is also available through his website as well. Well, hi, everybody. I'm Ron Olesko. I'm director of folkmusicnotebook.com. We're also streaming the audio portion of this festival tonight and every month here at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. And it's such an honor to be here tonight with the Phil Ochs Song Night with my good friends Christine Lavin and Sonny Ochs. And, you know, when I listen and I look at these performers tonight, to see how many of them are carrying on the traditions that Phil started. And a great deal of that is due to Sonny Ochs and all of her hard work and keeping the music alive and bringing all these artists together for these wonderful concerts. Well, when describing our next performer, Pete Seeger once said, "Joe Hill would be proud. Great singer and organizer at the same time." And like Pete, she believes in the power of song. And her songs have been heard on NPR's Democracy Now! As well as folk radio across the nation. And most importantly, she has performed at rallies, marches, vigils, and wherever she sings, she brings people together. Colleen is a bilingual singer and a songwriter, and in addition to her own compositions, Colleen interprets and performs pieces from Latin American traditions, and she's often performed in Colombia, as well as a tour of Italy in 2019. And of course, she has also performed at Phil Ochs Song Nights in the past, and we are happy that she could join us from her home in New York State. Please welcome Colleen Kattau.
Thank you so much, Ron. That was a beautiful intro. And Martyn, your songs are so beautiful. They're really, really beautiful. So it's really a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me be part of this. And I just wanted to say that I'm living in central New York on Haudenosaunee territory. So it's occupied lands, right? That's the land of the Haudenosaunee. And I'm going to start with a song that I do a lot for the Phil Ochs nights, Bracero. And I added a little Spanish piece, which just says, the land belongs to no one, and no one owns the land. So this is Bracero, and anybody, so sing along if you know it. Wade into the river, the rippling shallow waters, steal across the thirsty borders. Bracero, come in, lay a hungry body to the golden fields of plenty. From a peso to a penny, Bracero. And welcome to California, where the friendly farmer takes care of you. Shade of your sombrero, drop sweat upon the soil like fruit youth can spoil too. Bracero, and the sun will bite your body, and the dust dry you thirsty, while muscles beg for mercy. Bracero, and welcome to California, where the friendly farmer takes care of you. Esta tierra no es de nadie, y de nadie es la tierra. And when the weary night embraces, sleep in our shacks that might be cages. They take it from your wages too. Bracero, and if you feel you're falling, and you find the pace to be killing, you know there's others who are willing. Bracero, so welcome to California, where the friendly farmer takes care of you, where the friendly farmer takes care of you. Thank you very much. Phil Ochs presente. So I was in preparation for this. I was thinking of adding another Phil Ochs song in my repertoire, and I came upon this one a song I hadn't heard before. It's called "The War Is Over," and I've been a little bit obsessed with it. I'm still trying to find the exact key to because he does this crazy thing, and it's very kind of complicated, but it's not that complicated. So it's called "The War Is Over," and I added a little part about climate refugees in here too. So the war is over. silent soldiers on a silver screen, framed in fantasy and drugged in dreams, unpaid actors of the mystery. That director knows freedom is not really free, and what's this got to do with me? I declare the war is over. It's over. It's over. Angry owners with their angry lives, by the media like the devil wearing his disguise, poison players in a grisly game. The ones who are guilty also are the ones to point the blame, and pardon me if I refrain. I declare the war is over. It's over. It's over. Drums are drizzling on a grain of sand, fading rhythms of a fading land. Find a flag so you can wave goodbye. But even in the end, maybe reason could be worth a try. This country is too young to die. I declare the war is over. It's over. It's over. Climate refugees will fill the dawn, wait in squalor while you mow the lawn. As the earth crumbles around your feet, don't need a fortune teller. It doesn't matter what you believe. I believe we've been deceived. It's over. It's over. Thank you. We got through that one. Yeah, I was like, okay, I gotta do the one. Well, I'm just gonna sing this one because it's pretty upbeat, and I've written a lot of songs, have a lot of songs, but I thought I would sing this one, and because I just think about Phil, and I'm sure that he's up there rabble rousing with so many other people who have left, and you know, there's been a lot of loss in my community, you know, and probably in yours too. You know, 2020 or 2019, it was a lot. You know, for a lot of, I mean, just COVID, but there was a lot of loss, you know, and I spoke with so many people, so I'm going to sing this one. It's kind of a new one. It's called Rain and Snow Anthem. And thank you so much for having me. In the rain, in the snow, in the air where the funny wind blows, in the turbulence, in the heat. Memories of you I keep safe. I know you're gone, but you help me strength to carry on, yeah. In the night, in the dawn, everything gonna be reborn. Yes, spring gonna bring new life when we treat all beings right, and we'll be resilient warriors who use no guns at all, but who sing swords into plowshares, swords into plowshares. For the earth, for the sky, for the waters and the natural fight. Oh, the hatred, all the scars, gonna fade like falling stars, and we'll be resilient warriors, yeah, who use no guns at all, but who sing with me, swords into plowshares, swords into plowshares, swords, swords into plowshares, in the rain, in the snow, to the sky where the funny wind blows. Thanks a lot.
Oh, thank you so much, Colleen. That's Colleen Kattau. Kattau. Did I say it right?
It's fine. Yep.
And you're in the middle of New York State. Where exactly are you?
I'm just south of Syracuse, right in the boonies, south of Syracuse.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of like the Finger Lakes region, you know.
Oh, that's where
It's
my family
beautiful.
lives. Yeah. That's a great.
We haven't even
part
had
of
a
the world.
frost yet. It's really bizarre.
Well, thank you so much for being part of this.
Thank you.
This Phil Ochs song night. You know, I have to tell you that I learned how to play guitar by watching lessons on public television when I was 12 years old. And I got a book from the TV station for $1. And one of the songs in it was Changes by Phil Ochs. And it wasn't the first lesson or the second or the third, because you had to really learn how to play before you could tackle a song like that. And I knew I was in the presence of a great poet and songwriter, and it totally changed my life. I knew that's what I wanted to do when I grew up. And so I just want to thank Laura Weber. And you know who also learned from Laura Weber? Nancy Griffith. And I'm sure there's people watching who also watched Laura Weber to learn how to play guitar. So we're all so grateful to her and so grateful to Sonny for keeping Phil's music going the way it still goes today. It's still so relevant. And our next performer is a master song leader. His name is Reggie. And he loves to help people discover that they can make a difference at any age, no matter where they live. You can hear more of him and learn more about him at reggieharrismusic.com. And with Greg Greenway, who will be in the show a little bit later, they do a concert together called Deeper Than the Skin. And it's an amazing show. I've seen it. And one of them is born in the North, one is born in the South. And one is Black, one is white. And they were born 3 days apart. So they feel like that they were twin brothers of different mothers. And it's a powerful friendship that they've forged, and they find common ground, and they show you how you can do it too. Like Phil Ochs, Reggie Harris is a songwriter of great depth and passion, and his performances are infused with joy. I know you're going to love him. Reggie Harris.
Thank you, Christine. It's so marvelous to see you. And to know that you were also making a tremendous difference and have for so many years. And greetings to you all. I am thrilled to be here in this company tonight and with all of you. And thought I would start off with one of Phil's songs about race, about history, about gun violence. I've had the opportunity to go to Mississippi many times, and I've gone to the home of Medgar Evers, the former home of Medgar Evers. I've stood in the portico where he was shot. I've been able to go into the house to put my finger in the bullet hole that is still there in the refrigerator. I've seen the tub where his children ran as they were instructed when they heard the shot. It's a sacred place to visit because he is indeed one of our martyrs. And Phil saw him. State of Mississippi, many years ago, a boy of 14 years got a taste of Southern law. He saw his friend hanging, his color was his crime. The blood on his jacket left a brand on his mind. Too many martyrs and too many dead. Too many lives, too many empty words were said. Too many mobs of angry women and men. Oh, let it never be again. His name was Medgar Evers. He walked this world alone, like Emmett Till and thousands more whose names we'll never know. They tried to burn his home, they beat him to the ground, but deep inside they knew what it would take to bring him down. Too many martyrs and too many dead. Too many lies, too many empty words were said. Too many mobs of angry women and men. Oh, let it never be again. The killer waited by his home deep into the night as Edgar stepped out into a rifle sight. The killer squeezed the trigger, the bullet left his side. It struck the heart of everyone when Evers fled and died. Too many martyrs and too many dead. Too many lies, too many empty words were said. Too many mobs of angry women and men. Oh, let it never be again. Never again. They laid him in his grave as the bugle sounded clear. They laid him in the grave and the victory was near. As we prayed for the killer, freedom in the land, the country lost a... Oh, let's try that verse again. Well, they laid him in his grave as a bugle sounded clear. They laid him in his grave as the victory was near. while we waited for the future, freedom in the land, the country gained a killer, and the country lost a man. Too many martyrs and too many dead, too many lies, too many empty words were said, too many times, too many women and men. Oh, let it never be again. Too many martyrs and too many dead, too many lies, too many empty words were said, too many mobs of angry women and men. Oh, let it never be again. Oh, let it never be again. Oh, let it never be again. Never again.
Yeah.
Never again. Thank you. Thank you. Phil had his way of capturing the moment. He was, as we've often heard said, he was a poet. He was an image painter. He used words in very powerful and remarkably visual ways. I, for one, am really thrilled that Sonny introduced me to his music so many years ago. I know it has really affected my writing as a musician and a songwriter. So one morning when I was sitting in a school preparing to do a program on civil rights, I was talking to the principal, and I realized in that moment that the school that I was performing for was in Connecticut, and it was only about 20 miles away from Sandy Hook, the Sandy Hook School. And I was talking to him because it was 5-year anniversary of that shooting, and still that shooting was resonating. It still resonates. It still resonates in our country because we all thought that it would be the thing that would finally get us to embrace gun control, to put down the guns, if children had been so brutally murdered, then it was sure to touch the hearts of everyone. But it didn't. So that morning I took out my phone as an idea came, and I began to jot down a few words, and then I watched those children come in, so many of them close enough to be friends. There were some family members from those children and the teachers who had been shot. But we have since then, of course, seen so many other shootings. Horrific violence that continues to plague us. So I wrote this song. It's called Love Guides the Wounded Heart. Five years now gone, and here we stand in ruins on this troubled land. Young hearts lie dead in fields of shame. Their loved ones weep, yet nothing's gained. Some say this is a right we choose, one God decrees we should not lose. As we fight to make a stand, the blood pours out across the land. So sing it loudly as you go, this sad refrain we've come to know. Our hearts remind us once again, violence is a bitter friend. We seem to love the thrill of war. Our passions fill us to the core. Our spent emotions we deny as hope fades out and millions die. This is no noble cross we bear, no sacred cause lies hidden there. As human lives are passed for gold, we sacrifice both young and old. So sing it loudly as you go, this sad refrain we've come to know. Our hearts remind us once again, violence is a bitter friend. No more auction block for me, no more auction block for me. No more, no more. No more auction block for me. No more. Our silence will never set us free. So now our stories must be told, and since we've all been bought and sold, it's up to us to shift the frame, so future hearts won't bear this pain. So sing it loudly as you go, so every child might come to know that hope lives on. That's where we start. Love will guide the wounded heart. Well, Phil was a writer who covered a lot of ground. He had his in-your-face songs, and songs that even as we do Phil Ochs nights around the country, sometimes they are so pointed and so in-your-face that we've had people actually walk out of song nights. It's hard to imagine somebody coming to a Phil Ochs song night and walking out because the political view was expressed. However, he also had an amazing wit, and if you've ever seen clips of him, or for those of you who actually saw him in concert, he's a really funny guy. And he had a real sense of humor. And as we know, in challenging times, such as we are now living in, having a sense of humor is a very, 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 very important thing. So Phil often wrote songs that made their point in humor, and this is one of those. So took a shot at our friends the Doctors. The Amalgamated AMA. I added a couple of verses to update, but certainly in his spirit. We are the nation's physicians. We give to our lobbies every day. We will fight against disease when the money comes with ease. And when we get together, we say, hooray for the AMA, and for us doctors, gluts of higher pay. If you can't afford my bill, don't you tell me that you're ill, 'cause that's the free enterprise way. Sing that chorus with me when it comes around. We've divided up the sections of the body. Well, every day we specialize a little more. but we really love to stitch the diseases of the rich. We're certain there's a clinic for the poor. Hooray for the AMA, and for us doctors, gluts of higher pay. If you can't afford my bill, don't you tell me that you're ill, 'cause that's the free enterprise way. Now our waiting rooms are getting pretty crowded, and it's so hard to watch our patients sit and bleed. But if you have to use our ointment, you must have an appointment. Who'll pay for all those magazines you read? And now the government is getting too ambitious. Yes, we know they want to socialize us all. Our path is Hippocratic, but for money we're dramatic. I'll see you all in Canada in the fall. Hooray for the AMA, and for us doctors, gluts of higher pay. If you can't afford my bill, don't you tell me that you're ill, 'cause that's the free enterprise way. Opioids were an investment in our future. With delight we gave them out to young and old. In the world of profit loss, Big Pharma is the boss. Who knew there was a mass addiction goal? Now COVID's such a problem for the planet. We risked our lives while so many said that we should beware. Then we watched the GOP line their pockets with such glee that we're wondering why we fought Obamacare. Hooray for the AMA, for lots of doctors, lots of higher pay. If you can't afford my bill, don't you tell me that you're ill, 'cause that's the free enterprise way. They amalgamated Hooray.
Reggie Harris, 2021 Phil Ochs Award recipient at Old Songs this year, too.
Well, yes, indeed. That shocked the living daylights out of me.
Oh, well deserved. And of course, everybody out there, check out Reggie's website, reggieharrismusic.com, and his wonderful album from 2020. I think it's going to be on a couple of best of lists this year. I know at least one that it'll be on.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for playing and for the support. I really do appreciate it. And it's been so amazing and so wonderful to be listening to the Folk Music Notebook and all of the wonderful folks that you lift up. So thanks so much for your support.
Thanks, Reggie. We hope to get to see you again in person one of these days. You know,
wouldn't that be nice?
This pandemic's got to end sooner or later. Well, thanks for being with us tonight.
Great to be here.
Well, I hope everybody's enjoying this, and I do want to thank everyone who has donated so far to help us out. This is obviously a free festival, a free event. It's a gift to the community, but if you're able to, donations are greatly appreciated. You'll see, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, there's a little link there, I'm sure, that'll be put up that you can make your donation, or simply go to Greenwich Village Folk Festival.org. This is a 501c3, and all proceeds help to support these wonderful artists. Well, these Phil Ochs Song Nights have, as I mentioned earlier, Sonny has done such great work in keeping Phil's songs alive and songs in our conscious, as well as enabling new voices to sing his songs and be inspired by his work and art. And of course, she's connected with some wonderful singers-songwriters who have been doing this, well, since the beginning, since the early 90s. SONiA, Disappear Fear, has toured relentlessly across the United States and around the world. I think it's over 20 countries at last count. And she has become one of the most successful and critically acclaimed singer-songwriters of the folk community. I can tell you, I eagerly await each new project that SONiA creates. And I have to give a nod to the 2011 album that Disappear released called Get Your Phil. In my estimation, it's some of the finest Phil Ochs covers, and also makes them relevant to new generations. We're so happy she could be with us tonight. Please welcome SONiA, Disappear Fear.
Thank you so much. God is God, Jew is Jew, nobody better than you. We're all refugees, one big funky family. I'm a little bit shy, your kind of guy. Welcome to the new land of the free. I'm a little Jew wandering in Germany. Welcome to the new land of the free. I'm a little Jew wandering in Germany, singing it up like a symphony, digging the roots of my family tree. I met a girl from Lithuania and I was trying to explain to her then is now, so don't sell out to be like them again. No way, Jose, that dog don't play, just beg. Say welcome to the new land of the free. I'm a little Jew wandering in Germany. Welcome to the new land of the free. I'm a little Jew wandering in Germany. With the rise of anti-Semitism, not gonna build another wall of prison. Fuck that old smelly system, no blisters on my heart, tearing us apart. The end can't start when smart does smart. Looks like me and my friends from Iran and Turkey. Seeger said this was a rainbow race. Nobody here's out of place. Playing my guitar, dancing with the stars, because that's who we are. I say welcome to the new land of the free. I'm a little Jew wandering in Germany. Come on, welcome to the new of the free. I'm a little Jew wandering in Germany. So, and this has been so cool to watch. You know, the Christine and Sonny and Ron, you know, weaving it all together and presenting it in such a beautiful way, and just Martyn starting it off. And I've learned so much from everybody, really, that's playing tonight and that's speaking. So that's a great thing. And now I'm going to get to the Phil stuff. That's a song from my By My Silent CD. It's a song called Wandering Jew, and I'm going to be in Germany in about a week, so I thought I'd celebrate that fact a little bit, getting back out. Outside a small circle of friends. Look outside a window, there's a woman being grabbed. They dragged her to the bushes, now she's being stabbed. Maybe we should call the cops, try to stop the pain. But Monopoly is so much fun, I'd hate to blow the game. And I'm sure it wouldn't interest anybody outside of a small circle of friends. Driving down a highway, yeah, my back is getting stiff. 13 cars have piled up there, hanging off a cliff. Maybe we should pull them back with that towing chain. But we gotta move and we might get sued, and it looks like it's gonna rain. And I'm sure it wouldn't interest anybody outside of a small circle of friends. sweating in the ghetto with every kind of bore. The rats have joined the babies who are sleeping on the floor. Wouldn't it be a riot if they really blew their tops? Well, they got too much already, and besides, we got the cops. And I'm sure it wouldn't interest anybody outside of a small circle of friends. Oh, now there's a dirty paper using sex to make a sale. The Supreme Court was so upset they sent him off to jail. Maybe we should help the fee and take away his fine. But we're busy reading Playboy and the Sunday New York Times, and I'm sure it wouldn't interest anybody outside of a small circle of friends. Smoking marijuana is more fun than drinking beer. But a friend of mine got captured and they gave him 20 years. Maybe we should raise our voices, ask somebody why. But demonstrations are a drag, and besides we're much too high. And I'm sure it wouldn't interest anybody outside a small circle of friends. So look outside your window, there's a woman being grabbed. They dragged her to the bushes, now she's being stabbed. Maybe we should call the cops, try to stop the pain. But Monopoly is so much fun, I'd hate to go the game. And I'm sure it wouldn't interest anybody outside of a small circle of friends.
It's funny, like, thank you very much. Zoom is just such a funny medium for all of this. I so wish and I so hope we could just like get all in the same room. You know, I'll be eating terrible cookies backstage or something, and just, you know, like we did at the Bottom Line. And yeah, Phil, everybody's telling their Phil stories. I don't know where I could write a book, but and I am writing a book, but just that'll be part of it. But yeah, he's just I'll also say how I found out about Phil. I was dating this guy who was really, really into folk music, and we were taking a walk, and we got to the end of my street where everybody used to smoke dope, but we weren't smoking dope. And he said, "I have some terrible news. The singer-songwriter Phil Ochs died yesterday." And I said, "Well, who's Phil Ochs?" And I said, "That's terrible." And then I said, "Who's Phil Ochs?" And then he proceeded to give me the double albums vinyl of Chords of Fame. And God, it was all these live. Get that one if you don't have it, because it's so good. It's so good. And they're all good, but that one, I think, probably is still my favorite. Anyway, the energy, everything, just like you, Phil Ochs spoke to me in a very special way. I don't know how all of that works. And I'm going to try for my last song, because I know it's getting late, but I so am honored to be here. I love being part of this. I've been a part of Phil Ochs nights in different parts of the world and around the United States, and I kind of feel super close to Sonny because her other name is SONiA also, but only my girlfriend from college calls me Sonny. I don't know, they call me like something bad mood or something. But this has been great, and I can't wait to listen to everybody else. My voice is probably going to break at the end of this, but I tried it in another key, and it just didn't have the power. So here's There's Anybody Here, and please excuse my falsetto when it happens. One of the greatest songs ever written. Is there anybody here who'd like to change his clothes into a uniform? Is there anybody here who thinks they're only serving on a raging storm? Is there anybody here, glory in his eye, loyal to the end, whose duty is to die? I wanna see him, I wanna wish him luck, I wanna shake his hand, I wanna call his name, put a medal on the mat. Is there anybody here who'd like to wrap a flag around an early grave? Is there anybody here who thinks they're standing taller on a battle wave? Is there anybody here who'd like to do his part, a soldier to the world and a bullet to his heart? I wanna see him, I wanna wish him luck, I wanna shake his hand, wanna call his name, put a medal on the mat. Is there anybody here so proud of the parade, who like to give a cheer, sure they're not afraid? I'd like to ask him what he's trying to defend. I'd like to ask him what he thinks he's gonna win. Is there anybody here who thinks that following the orders takes away the blame? Is there anybody here who wouldn't mind a murder by another name? Is there anybody here whose pride is on the line, with the honor of the brave, the courage of the blind? I wanna see him, I wanna wish him luck, I wanna shake his hand, wanna call his name, put a medal on the man. Put a medal on the man. Put a medal on the man. Hey, yeah.
Oh, SONiA, that is so powerful.
Thank
That-
you.
It's absolutely wonderful. So you're going to Germany next week?
Yeah, we're leaving on the 12th finally. This is the 4th time we've been booked for a tour, starting in the spring of 2019, and everything's been canceled, and then again, and then no, so yes, that's the plan. You know how fast all of these things change. But I wanted to tell you, I'm very excited about it, and some of the concerts are actually more pop-up concerts because normally everything is booked pretty far out there. Sometimes even like 2 years out, but this is now. So here we go, and we'll do it. And of course, the capacities are smaller and all that, but we'll do what we can do. I'm excited about it. But you mentioned Laura Weber, the guitar teacher on the thing. So I'm staying with, when I'm off the road, my dear friend Linda Pierce, who is married to the late John Pierce, who taught guitar on the BBC, much of which went to many countries in Europe, including Germany, and that was really like the budding start of his career. John Pierce is mostly known among, I guess, newer folkies, perhaps, as his strings, because they make strings, and he did like specialized things. But anyway, it was just like, there's one here too, and her name is Laura Weber. And I was like, that's so cool, and it's so important. Like they don't know, it's our blood,
So what is the first city you're playing in?
Kiel. Actually, it's in the north, by the sea. It's beautiful. There's boats and water, and
what's your website so people can track you?
It's very easy, simple. SONiA.disappearfear.com.
Well, thank you so much. It was wonderful to hear you, and happy trails.
Thank you, and good luck with the new place and unpacking and all of that.
Thank you. Well, our next performer is someone who has just such a big heart. He has done so much work behind the scenes for so many different organizations. And his 13th album is called Wild Beat the Wings. It's currently out of print, but he's having some more made, which is kind of amazing in the world of folk music that a lot of people just are completely digital now. But his fans, he's got old school fans who really want his album. So it'll be out soon, his new one. And he was recently at Camp Dreamcatcher for his annual concert, and he's been doing this for 25 years in a row. And last night, he was at the Delmarva Folk Festival, and they crowned someone called the new folk hero of 2021. And I just wanted to say the names of the performers who were all in the contest, because one of them won, but the other people were Mike Wayrouch was the host, Lenny Smoot, Jamie Tyndall, Chris Gitcho, Bob Bartow, Isabel Angela, and Simon and Garfisher. But the winner was Isabel Angela. So listen, remember all those names because they're all up and coming singer-songwriters. And he was one of the big headliners there just last night. And one of the things he's done, which I just find amazing and so much pressure if you're a baseball fan, he recently played the seventh inning stretch at the Phillies game. And he's done it many times, but this year he did it with a ukulele. He never stops breaking new ground, whether it's with a guitar or with ukulele. And I'm telling you, he's got the biggest heart, and his name is John Flynn.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Chris. She's such a wonderful a host, and she's so thorough. Christine emailed me yesterday, and I had a little questionnaire to go through. And one of the things she asked was, do I have any weird hobbies? And during the pandemic, I've taught myself to sail. I've taken up sailing, and I don't know if that qualifies as weird, but I'm learning a lot from it. There's a lot of life lessons that you pick up in the boat. And one of the first things they teach you is how to handle a big gust of wind that might capsize you if you're in a small sailboat. And the two things you got to do, you got to be ready to spill wind. You got to be ready to let wind out of your sail very quickly. And I think of that as songwriting. You know, I do a lot of wind spilling. So it kind of relieves the pressure that builds up inside me, and it's such a gift to be able to pick up a guitar and share what I'm going through, what I'm feeling. And the other thing you got to do is you got to turn the boat into the wind. You have to meet the waves and the wind head on, and both of those things kind of describe Phil Ochs in my mind. You know,
Phil certainly spilled a lot of wind, but he never ran from a fight. He always headed right into the storm. So it seemed appropriate to do a sailing song of Phil's. And the ship sets the sail. They've left the tale to carry to the shore. Straining at the oars, they're staring from the rails. And the sea bids farewell. She waves and swells and sends them on their way. Time has been their pay, and time will have to tell. Soon your sailing will be over. Come and take the pleasures of the harbor. And the anchor hits the sand. The hungry hands have tied them to the port. The hour will be short for leisure on the land. As the girls scent the air, they seem so fair with paint upon their face, soft as an embrace to lead them up the stairs. Soon your sailing will be over. Come and take the pleasures of the harbor. In the room, dark and dim, the touch of skin, he asks her for her name. She answers with no shame and not a sense of sin. As the fingers draw the blinds, the sip of wine, the cigarette of doubt, the candle is blown out, the darkness is so kind. Soon your sailing will be over. Come and take the pleasures of the harbor. As the shadows frame the light, the same old sight, the thrill has flown away. Though all alone they lay, two strangers in the night. Till his heart skips a beat, he's on his feet, to shipmates he must join. She's counting up the coins, he's swallowed by the street. Soon your sailing will be over. Come and take the pleasures of the harbor. In the bar hangs a cloud, the whiskey's loud, there's laughter in their eyes. The lonely in disguise are clinging to the crowd. As the bottle fills the glass, the haze is fast, he trembles for a taste of passion gone to waste, in memory of the past. Soon your sailing will be over. Come and take the pleasures of the harbor. In the alley, wet with rain, a cry of pain, for love was but a smile, teasing all the while, then dancing down the drain. Till the boys reach the dock, they gently mock and lift him on their backs, to place him on the rack, to sleep beneath the clock. Oh, soon your sailing will be over. Come and take the pleasures of the harbor. sets the sail. They've left the tale to carry to the shore, straining at the oars, or staring from the rails. And the sea bids farewell. She waves and swells and sends them on their way. Time has been their pay. Time will have to tell. Soon your sailing will be over. Come and take the pleasures of the harbor. Oh, soon your sailing will be over. Come and take the pleasures of the harbor. Thanks, gang. Chris also asked me what Phil's music meant to me. And I've been thinking a lot about it, and honestly, what I'm most grateful to him for is that his music brought me to Sonny, because I wouldn't know her without the wonderful music that her brother made. And she's one of the dearest and funniest people I've ever met, and love her. And this is such a joy to even seeing her down there on the screen. Just anyway, Sonny had asked me to do this one, and this is a song about a hero. Walked all over his own growing land, from the New York Island to the California sand. Saw all the people that needed to be seen, planted all the grass where there needed to be green. And now he's bound for a glory all his own. Now he's bound for glory. He wrote and he sang and he rode upon the rails. He got on board when the sailors had to sail. He said all the words that needed to be said, fed all the hungry souls that needed to be fed. And now he's bound for a glory all his own. Now he's bound for glory. He sang in our streets and he sang in our halls. He was always there when the unions gave a call. He did all the jobs that needed to be done. He always stood his ground when the smaller men would run. One thing that's good about these Zoom shows is you got the lyrics in front of you. And now he's bound for glory all his own. Now he's bound for glory. Pastures aplenty wrote the Dust Bowl Balladeer, and this land is your land he wanted us to hear. Oh, the rising of the Union will be sung about again. Deportees live on through the power of his pen. And now he's bound for glory all his own. Now he's bound for glory. Sing out his praises on every distant shore, but so few remember what he was fighting for. Oh, I sing the song and forget about the aim. He wrote them for a reason, why not sing them for the same? And now he's bound for a glory all his own. Now he's bound for glory. Oh yes, and now he's bound for a glory all his own. Now he's bound for glory. Thanks. Well, this song's, I guess, based on a true story and a lesson that I learned recently. I had written a song that was very difficult to write, and I'd put off writing it for a long time. And I thought writing the song would finish the process, you know, having put it down on paper, that I'd be free. But I realized quickly that I needed to sing that song. I needed to tell that story. I needed to share it, and it was the sharing that completed the process for me. And anyway, this is not the song that I'm talking about. I did that in one of my weekly online shows. But this is about the experience and coming to the understanding that writing it is only half the battle. You gotta stand up and sing it. This is called Not a Song. He made himself write out the lines that struggled for release. Somewhere deep inside of him that never had known peace. But somehow when he'd finished putting down each word and note, that songwriter found that something still caught in his throat. 'Cause it's not a song till you sing it, not a boat till you row it. It's not a gift till you bring it, and it's not love till you show it. So he strapped on his guitar and walked out in the lights, in front of friends and strangers like he had so many nights, trusting that this truth he told that cut him to the bone could help somebody else feel just a little less alone. It's not a song till you sing it, not a road till you hold it. It's not a gift till you bring it, and it's not love till you show it. Take yourself a deep breath, son. When you let it out, let it carry love that will erase the fear and doubt. He made himself sing out the words that struggled for release. From somewhere deep inside of him, now he was at peace. For no one gets to tell you what you should or shouldn't feel, or gets to hurt you and then take away your chance to heal. It's not a song till you sing it, not a seed till you sow It's not a gift till you bring it, and it's not love till you show it. It's not a song till you sing it. If it's real, let 'em know it. It's not a gift till you bring it, and it's not love till you show it.
Sweet.
It's so good to see you. And
You
we have
too.
had, hey, we have had so many great adventures together. I think my favorite was driving down the West Coast when we went on that long series of shows. We laughed all the way down in the car. That was really wonderful.
I just realized we met almost exactly 20 years ago.
We met at
2001, September. It was just a few days before September
we
11th.
flew
right?
back together on Southwest Airlines from the Southwest Folk Alliance, and it was September 9th,
That's
2001. Yeah, it was 2 days before. And what a time that was. And oh, by the way, I don't have time to talk about all the wonderful things you do, but John does a lot of work with prisoners, and he's done amazing things. So what you want to do is go to johnflynn.net and check out the kind of work that he's been doing. It's just been remarkable. I'm just so impressed with you, John. You amaze me all the time, and you write such great songs on every level. Some are so funny, and some of them are just so poignant. You're the best, John. I love you. I'm saying it publicly.
Love you too.
All righty. Well, thanks for being with us, and we'll be in touch. And I just got a note here that said donation checks may be sent to P.O. Box 234, Jeffersonville, New York, 12748. That's P.O. Box 234, Jeffersonville, New York, 12748. I guess you would make them out to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. And that's if you want to give a donation to help give some money to these wonderful performers who are doing this an amazing show. I'm having so much fun here. And now, this woman coming up now is a legend. She has been in the music business for 50 years at least. She was in the production of Hair in 1970 in Broadway, and I actually saw that production. So I was probably looking at her there and didn't know her at the time, unfortunately. But I've met her since then, and I have just come to just worship her. I invited, when I turned 70, which was 14 years ago, I invited her to be the singer to come and do a concert for me for my 70th birthday. And she came all the way from California to upstate New York. And her name is Holly Near. And she is just an amazing activist. She works with peace, LGBT rights. And in the she was very instrumental in the 1970s women's music world. And she was one of the first women to create an independent record company. She started Redwood Records. This is a woman who doesn't just talk the talk. This is a woman who walks the walk. And Holly Near, I think you are the best. And I thank you for everything you've done. And I know you will continue to do more. Here she is, Holly Near.
Well, thank you, Sonny. It's a mutual admiration society. I love you so much. I'm honored that I actually got to do events with Phil. I'm old enough that I was actually a peer of his. And I'm sitting here watching this with a friend of mine who's in her 90th year. And we're sort of reminiscing about so many political events and activism that took place, both around the anti-war movement and the military coup in Chile and the many things that really were of great devastation to your brother. So we had to record in advance the songs out in California because that's where the musicians were that I could work with. I'm now visiting Kathy in New York, but this is a pre-recorded section, and I'm so glad to be part of it. Thank you so much, Sonny, and to all these wonderful performers who are remembering Phil.
Thank you so much. Let's hear the wonderful Holly Near.
I recorded this next song by Phil Ochs many years ago, and it has a kind of haunting sadness to it that I was drawn to. I actually got to do 2 different events with Phil. One was at Madison Square Garden in New York City, probably the early to mid-'70s, and it was a big solidarity event for Puerto Rico, and the place was packed, jam-packed, and it was terribly exciting, really a lot of people performing from the folk and social change activism communities. The other time was at the Glide Memorial Church in San Francisco, and this was an event that might have had to do with Latin America because there was also an exiled musician from Uruguay there. The thing about Phil's sadness that I learned that night when we hung out afterwards talking and drinking was that if we all felt how disastrous life is for people who suffer under the foreign policy that is exported from the United States, if we really allowed ourselves to feel what happened to Allende and to his government when Pinochet had a military coup, if we really allowed ourselves to feel the trauma of the Kennedys being assassinated and Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, Phil, I think, felt those not in some sort of an analytical way, but in a deep spiritual way. And I think it's too much to take all in if you are raw for the truth. And I feel this honest, pure sadness in this song. Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody home? I've only come to say I'm sorry. The drums are in the dawn, and all the voices gone, and it seems that there are no more songs. Once I knew a girl, she was a flower in a flame. I loved her as the sea sings sadly. Now the ashes of the dream can be found in the magazines, and it seems that there are no more songs. Once I knew a saint who sang upon the stage. He told me about the world, his lover, a ghost without a name, stands ragged in the rain, and it seems that there are no more songs. The rebels, they were here, they came beside the door. They told me that the moon was bleeding. Then all to my surprise, they took away my eyes, and it seems that there are no more songs. The scar is in the sky, it's time to say goodbye. He withers on the beat, he's dying. A white flag in my hand and a white boat in the sand. that there are no more songs. Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody home? I've only come to say I'm sorry. The drums are in the dawn, and all the voice is gone, and it seems that there are no more songs. Hello, 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 hello. Robert, Dan, thank you. Bless you, Phil. I know that Phil had a lot of contradictory feelings about religion. Not the part of religion and spiritual practice that lifted us up, that built community, but the part that was used by the powers that be to control people, that explained away genocide, that said God was on their side when horrific things were happening. So I decided to sing this song, which I wrote, called I Ain't Afraid. I ain't afraid of your Yahweh. I ain't afraid of your Allah. I ain't afraid of your Jesus. I'm afraid of what you do in the name of your God. And I ain't afraid of your churches. I ain't afraid of your temples. I ain't afraid of your praying. I'm afraid of what you do in the name of your God. Rise up to your higher power, free up from fear, it will devour you. Watch out for the egos of the hour, the ones who say they know it are the ones who will impose it on you. I ain't afraid of your Yahweh. I ain't afraid of your Allah. I ain't afraid of your Jesus. I'm afraid of what you do in the name of your God. Rise up to a higher story, free up from the gods of war and glory. Watch out for the threats of purgatory. The spirit of the wind won't make a killing off a sinner, Satan. I ain't afraid of your Yahweh. I ain't afraid of your Allah. I ain't afraid of your Jesus. I'm afraid of what you do in the name of your God. And I ain't afraid of your dances. I ain't afraid of your music. I ain't afraid of your teachers. I'm afraid of what you do in the name of your God. And I ain't afraid of your families. I ain't afraid of your feelings. I ain't afraid of your children. I'm afraid of what you do in the name of your God. I looked through Phil's material, and of course there's all the obvious ones that everyone knows. But I found this one, which had not been that familiar to me. And working with me on this tune is Jan Martinelli on guitar and Robert Lunsford is playing accordion. And the song I want to do is called The Days of Decision. Oh, the shadows of doubt are in many a mind, looking for the answer they're never going to find. But they'd better decide, because they're running out of time. For these are the days of decision. Oh, the games of stalling we cannot afford. Dark is the danger that is knocking on the door. And the far-reaching rockets say you can't wait anymore. For these are the days of decision. In the face of the people determined to win, there's a strength that is greater than the power of the wind. And you can't stand around when the ice is growing thin. For these are the days of decision. I've seen your heads hiding neath the blanket of fear, when the paths they are plain and the choices they are clear. But with each passing day the cost is growing dear. For these are the days of decision. There's been warnings of fire and warnings of flood. Now there's the warning of the bullet and the blood from the 3 bodies buried in the Mississippi mud. Saying these are the days of decision. There's a change in the wind and a split in the road. You can do what's right, or you can do what you are told. And the prize of the victory will belong to the bold. For these are the days, these still are the days. We still live in a time when we have to make essential and difficult decisions. Thanks for writing that song, Phil. It still holds up really well, and I hope you don't mind if I change just a few words.
Holly, I think Phil would have approved. Thank you so much. So moving. For 50 years, you've been showing us all how artists should mix art and activism. And you still sound so amazing. I remember the first time I saw you, oh gosh, I think it was one of the Clearwater festivals, and I just really admire it. And I'm so glad you're able to be with us tonight. Great set. Well, I hope everybody is enjoying this as much as we are. What a great evening this has been. And don't forget, you can go to Greenwich Village Folk Festival.org if you'd like to make a donation. There's also a YouTube page. This festival is a monthly event on the first Sunday of the month. If you've missed any of our past festivals, they've been going since last summer. Well, you can catch them. They're still available in the archives. Well, our next performer is someone I've known for quite a while, and I'll always remember it was back in the late 1990s. I attended a Irish music festival at Randall's Island in New York City. It was called the Guinness Fleadh, and it featured a wide variety of Irish artists. And I was walking across the field, going from one stage to the next, and suddenly I heard this voice singing Crucifixion. A single voice on an acoustic guitar. And yet he managed to rise above the Irish rock band that was playing on one stage and the drone of the Ilian pipes that was coming from another. Well, that voice and guitar was that of Greg Greenway. And whether he's a solo artist, a member of the trio Brother Son, or a musical partner with Reggie Harris and Deeper Than Skin, Greg Greenway is one of the folk community's guiding lights. A powerful mix of a great voice, superb instrumentalist, and a commitment to social causes that permeates his music with the humanity that serves as an example and inspiration. He's got a new CD coming out of his early work. It's called Songs from the Beginning. He's launching a brand new website. He has a live stream concert coming up this Thursday on his Facebook page. And he still managed to find time to be with us tonight, because it would not be a Phil Ochs song night without this man, the one and only Greg Greenway.
Thank you so much. And thanks to Sonny Ochs for bringing me into this world so long ago, this world of Phil's music, and allowing me, after it took, 6 or 7 years of begging, to play this song, because this is, I think, Phil's masterpiece, Crucifixion. And in his own words, it's how the world creates and destroys heroes. It's one of the most beautifully written songs I've ever heard. Night comes again to a circle-studded sky. The stars settle slowly, in loneliness they lie. Then the universe explodes as a falling star is raised. The planets are paralyzed, the mountains are amazed. But they all glow brighter from the brilliance of the blaze. With the speed of insanity, then he dies. In the green fields are turning, a baby is born. His cries crease the wind and mingle with the morn. And the salt upon the order, a changing of the guard. Chosen for a challenge that is hopelessly hard. The only single sign is the sighing of the stars. To the silence of distance they are sworn. And come dance, 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 teach us to be true. Come dance, 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 images of innocence charge him to go on. But the decadence of destiny is looking for a pawn. To a nightmare of knowledge he opens up the gate, and a blinding revelation is laid upon his plate, that beneath the greatest love is a hurricane of hate. God help the critic of the dawn. So he stands on the sea and he shouts to the shore. The louder he screams, the longer he's ignored. For the wine of oblivion is drunken to the dregs. The merchants of the masses almost have to be begged, till the giant is aware someone's pulling at his leg. Someone is tapping at the door. Come dance, 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 teach us to be true. Come dance, 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 we love you. But his message gathers meaning and it spreads across the land. The rewarding for his fame is the following of the man. But ignorance is everywhere, people have their way. Success is an enemy to the loser of the day. In the shadows of the churches, who knows what they pray? Blood is the language of the band. The Spanish bull is beaten, the crowd is soon beguiled. The matador is beautiful, a symphony of style. Excitement is ecstatic, passion places bets. Gracefully he bows to ovations that he gets. But the hands that are applauding are are slippery with sweat. Saliva is falling from their smiles. Come dance, 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 teach us to be true. Come dance, 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 'cause we love you. And this overflow of life is crushed into life. A gentle soul is ripped apart, tossed into the fire. First a smile of rejection at the nearness of the night. Truth becomes a tragedy, limping from the light. All the heavens are horrified, they stagger from the sight. The cross is trembling with desire. You say you can't believe it, it's a sacrilegious shame. Who would want to hurt such a hero of the game? But you know that I predicted it, I knew he had to fall. How did it happen? Hope his suffering was small. Tell me every detail, I've got to know it all. And do you have a picture of the pain? Come dance, 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 teach us to be true. Come dance, 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 'cause we love you. Time takes a toll and the memories fade, but his glory is still growing in the magic that he made. Reality is ravaged, it's the fleeing from the fear. The drama is distorted to what they want to hear. Swimming in their sorrow, the twisting of a tear, as they wait for the new thrill parade. Yes, the eyes of the rebel have been branded by the blind. To the safety of sterility, the thrill has been refined. A child was created, to the slaughterhouse he's led. So good to be alive when the eulogies are read. The climax of emotion, the worship of the dead. As the cycle of sacrifice unwinds. Come dance, 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 teach us to be true. Come dance, 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 'cause we love you. The night comes again to a circle-studded sky. The stars settle slowly in loneliness they lie. Then the universe explodes as the falling star is raised. The planets are paralyzed, the mountains are amazed. But we all glow brighter from the brilliance of the blaze. With the speed of insanity, then he dies.
Oh, Greg.
Come back, everyone. That is that is certainly a place to go. What an incredible, incredible song. And as I read the paper, you know, there are lines from that. The merchants of the masses almost have to be begged. Did he nail that or what? Okay. Because that song is an epic, I'm doing one Phil song. That's really like 4 songs right there. So I want to play you a brand new song that is really kind of a little bit off the beaten path from what's going on tonight. I mean, I am a political songwriter as well, but I'm also a life songwriter. And this, I wrote a line a long time ago that I didn't feel like it got the proper hearing. So I wanted to do it again. And that's what I'm doing in this song. But it's mainly about the fact that I miss everyone. That one of the reasons that I am the tech on this usually, and tonight I'm out here on a busman's holiday doing this, and I want to salute out to Brandon O'Sullivan for all his great work on this, and but I miss everyone. I miss traveling, and I miss seeing everyone, and I miss our community of people, the people who sort of understand each other. This people, this unorganized organization of non-joiners of anything. So I love all you people, and I miss you. And the world puts you in funny places. I never thought ever I'd be back in the South, but love made me do it. And this song kind of holds that, but it just says how much I miss you all. And September is New Year for me. That's when I usually see everybody. This is called Hello, Hello, Hello. I waded through the shadows of a warm September day. The sun slanted down on this little southern town like a friend from far away. I would not have been caught dead in a place like this, but I'm glad to be found here alive. It's hard to explain it, I fought it, I became it, now I'm late, but I finally arrived. Oh, hello, hello, hello. So good to see your smiles. I would not have made it all this way without these good friends of mine. Hello, hello, hello. It's been such a long, long time. Your faces still are the moon and the stars of my September sky. Now you cannot walk in a straight line without going in circles, my friends. 'Cause everything is moving beyond your proving, past where the sidewalk ends. Now it's more than a children's story, it's less than a hero's tale. It's just what you see, it's just you and me, the devil's in the details. Hello, hello, hello. It's so good to see your smiles. I would not have made it all of this way without these good friends of mine. Hello, hello, hello. It's been such a long, long time. Your faces are the moon and the stars of my September sky. Now there's something in the bones familiar when the shadows get deep and long. Like a stone thrown in a pool of memories, the ripples go on and on. Now there are only 3 verses in this song, my friends. You're born, you live, and you die. And so much has to happen between hello and goodbye. So much has to happen between hello and goodbye. I said hello, hello, hello. So good to see your smiles. Would not have made it all this way without these good friends of mine. Hello, hello, hello. Been such a long, long time. Your faces are the moon and the stars of my September sky. Your faces are the moon and the stars of my September sky. Your faces, they are the moon and the stars of my September sky.
Oh, Greg, it is so great to hear your music. You know, because you're behind the scenes every month doing these shows, but you have one of the best voices, one of the best ears, and one of the best eyes for songwriting. Is there any way that people can catch you live anytime soon?
Yes, on Thursday night, I'm going to be doing another live thing on Facebook. So if you go to my Facebook page, I'm hopefully will be launching my new website, my new spectacular website, sometime this coming week. And on it will be also, on the one that exists right now, greenway.com, you can get the link to go to that. So you can either see it on Zoom, and we do it kind of like we do the backstage here, is that we let the audience unmute and clap, so we have the sense of a live audience in that. And so that's worked out really, really well. And there's a big hang at the end where we just talk about everything.
Oh, well, it's just so great to see you. Thank you for being part of this, and
Thank
enjoy
you,
the
Christine.
rest of the night. Yeah.
Certainly will.
Our next performer is a duo named Emma's Revolution, and they are Pat Humphries and Sandy O. They sing fearless lyrics, telling beautiful songs with gorgeous melodies. And Emma's Revolution songs have traveled around the world and back. They've been sung for the Dalai Lama. They've been praised by Pete Seeger and covered by the incandescent Holly Near. We just heard a couple minutes ago. Hi, Holly. She's still watching everybody. So great to see you. As independent artists and queer and non-conforming women, Emma's Revolution has a national presence among communities, organizations, and venues that share the duo's vision of valuing people over profit, choosing compassion over violence, demanding accountability, and building a more just and sustainable world. Here's one of the best contemporary singer-songwriters working today, Pat Humphries of Emma's Revolution.
Thank you so much, Christine. What a pleasure to see all your faces. One of the hallmarks of these events is that we, over the years, have all gotten to be in a room together and sing with one another, and I miss that in my bones. It's so hard to put myself on mute and sing with you all, but I'm still singing. But it's still great to see your faces. I'm here tonight. Sandy is taking a much needed break from our weekly online events and visiting some family back east. So she sends her love to you all and wishes that she could be here. But we're going to do a couple of Phil's songs and one of our own. The first one being I Ain't Marching Anymore. Phil, this is Phil's anthem to the hypocrisy of war. Pete Seeger talked about war being a failure. It's a failure of our foreign policy. And it's a failure of our ability to connect and communicate with one another. And there's so many ways in which war keeps us from seeing the real needs that we have, and ways that even the resources that we could be using to fill those needs. And there's a couple of new verses, Sonny, just to update and talk about some of the things that are real needs in the community that we need to redirect some of these resources toward. And then the second song is the song Hands. This song has always been a favorite of mine. Phil was not so much, he was as much a songwriter as he was a painter. His images are so lush and so rich and so colorful, and it really shines through in this song about workers, and thinking about them a lot because of this infrastructure bill that's coming up for a vote, and how many communities are really struggling from the sort of misappropriation of resources toward frivolous things and greedy things like war instead of the real needs in the community. And then the third song that we're doing is a song that Sandy largely wrote. January 6th, I was sitting in front of the television. Sandy was here in the music room working. And, we used to live in the D.C. area, so we spent a lot of time there in front of the White House and in front of the Capitol, and lots of demonstrations. We sang there many, many, many times. And I kept shouting across the house, "San, you're not going to believe what's going on. These crazy people are like going over the barricades, and they're going up onto the Capitol steps, and they're getting into the building." And I just kept feeding her details. And she started writing this song, I think, in the back of her mind, right as I was sharing those images with her. We were so horrified because we had been at so many demonstrations, Black Lives Matter demonstrations, all kinds of things, where, before we even got there with our signs on sticks, they would come and take away the sticks, claiming that somehow we would be violent. We would use them for anything other than just peacefully demonstrating. So we were outraged at the difference in how they treated us, and also outraged that they never stopped these people before they did this, and had still have failed to put them in jail. So this On a Day in January is the last song that we'll do in this short set. Thank you so much for having us here tonight. And Sonny, just know every time I sing Hands, I'm singing it just sort of like a love song to you. So that's where my heart is when I'm singing this. So great to see you. Much love. Can't wait to just throw my arms around you sometime soon. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Started
I've seen the hands of the laborer lifting all the loads, granite stuck to their fingers as they built the canals and the roads. Now they're cleared and the bridges span, rivers paused by a power dam, and now the hand of the laborer is reaching out to you. Oh, the hands, hands, hands that work to build the land, land, your land, the labor of the woman and the man, working with their hands. I've seen the hands of the miner digging out the coal, black dust stuck to their fingers as they lived their lives in a hole. Now the rock, it's still under the ground, and the mine is closing down, and now the hand of the miner is reaching out to you. Oh, the hands, hands, hands that work to build the land, land, your land, the labor of the woman and the man, working with their hands. I've seen the hands of the lumberjack, forests swaying in the breeze, splinters stuck to their fingers as the lumber was torn from the trees. Now the wood from your timbers tall has built your buildings from wall to wall, and now the hand of the lumberjack is reaching out to you. Oh, the hands, hands, hands that work to build the land, land, your land, the labor of the woman and the man, working with their hands. I've seen the hands of the farmer plowing across the field, topsoil stuck to their fingers as the earth was split by the steel, growing all that they could grow to fill your tables row after row. And now the hand of the farmer is reaching out to you. Oh, the hands, hands, hands that work to build the land, land, your land, the labor of the woman and the man, working with their hands, working with their hands, working with their hands, 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 working with their
They came with flags and guns, convinced of his election. Rage-filled and dangerous, a ragtag insurrection. They moved with impunity, thinking they'd make history. Hate unveiled blatantly on a day in January. Gathered on that public land, red hats, white-fisted hands, to carry out what he had planned. The guards could not withstand the surging wave of violence through the halls and the balcony. The terror and the treachery of a day in January. Not in our house, not in this country, this land of Rosa, Emma, Caesar, Martyn, and John. Not with our lives, you won't divide us. We're born of leaders, and their spirits carry on. The country froze in the camera's glare. Saw for ourselves what had always been there. We did not fall, not on that day. Now the countdown is soon to be a moment for the world to see. Power transferred peacefully to those elected rightfully. We will watch with hope anew, knowing all there's still to do, to forge a land for me and you from a day, this coming day in January. Not in our house, not in this country, this land of Rosa, Emma, Caesar, Martyn, John. Not with our lives, you won't divide us. We're born of leaders, and their spirits carry on.
Emma's Revolution. Wow. That song and a number of other songs that they've written over the last year can be found at their website, emmasrevolution.com. You know, this pandemic has affected all of our artists, but they're still creating songs, and Emma's Revolution is really out there leading the pack, singing and creating such important songs. So visit their website, emmasrevolution.com, for more information. And of course, visit our website, Greenwich Village Folk Festival.org. You can make a donation. You can find links to our YouTube page and find out who's coming up next month. Don't forget, the show happens the first Sunday of every month. Well, this evening, we've seen how the legacy of Phil Ochs has inspired new generations of singer-songwriters. And our next guest has also inspired generations. He's one of the most beloved artists in our folk community. Now, he's already received Lifetime Achievement Awards from ASCAP, the BBC, and the Recording Academy at the Grammy Awards. But he continues to create great music, including his partnership with the Don Juans, Don Henry and John Vesner, and also collaborating with other artists such as the indie folk band The Accidentals. Tom carries the spirit that was felt in the village during those folk revival years when Tom and his friend Phil Ochs could be found singing their songs at one of the numerous coffee houses that filled the village in the early 60s. Well, tonight, he's with us in our virtual village. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to welcome to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival's Phil Ochs Song Night, the legendary Tom Paxton.
Oh, what a pleasure to be with you. I think of Phil so often. He was dear to me. We were close. We were brothers. We had a wonderful kind of a brotherhood in those days, centered mainly around the Gaslight for us. We played there all the time. And the thing about Phil was he was a very active man, very active brain. When he listened to a new song of mine, he listened hard, and he almost never failed to find something in it that could be improved, that could say what I wanted to say. And I tried to repay that sort of kindness myself. I miss him so much. I always used to say, if Phil just could have held on till Ronald Reagan came along, it would have given him. But of course, that's to trivialize the seriousness of what happened to Phil. But in these days of Trump, we need voices like Phil's, and we'll just have to fill in ourselves. This is a song. I know this song is 20 years old. I know that because on September 11th, we observed 20 years since the towers came down in blood and flames. As it was going on, as I was watching it, I thought to myself, this is above my pay grade. I'm not able to do justice to. I can't write this song. This is too much for me. But over the next couple of days, I kept thinking of those firefighters, 343 of them, going up those stairs to certain death while everyone else was running down. And the chorus to the song almost wrote itself, and it was only then that I started to write the verses. This is in their loving memory. The first plane hit the other tower right after I came in. Left a fiery, gaping hole where offices had been. We stood and watched in horror as we saw the first ones fall. Then someone yelled, get out, they're trying to kill us all. I grabbed the pictures from my desk, joined the flight to life. With every step I call the names of my children and my wife. And then we heard them coming up from several floors below. A crowd of firefighters with their heavy gear in tow. Now every time I try to sleep, I'm haunted by the sound of firemen pounding up the stairs while we were running down. And when we met them on the stairs, they said we were too slow. Get out, they yelled at us. The whole thing's gonna go. They didn't have to tell us twice. We'd seen the world on fire. We kept on running down the stairs while they kept climbing high. Thank God we made it to the street. We ran through ash and smoke. I didn't know which way to run. I thought that I would choke. A fireman took me by the arm, pointed me uptown. And then Christ, I heard him whisper as the tower came roaring down. So now I go to funerals for men I never knew. The pipers play Amazing Grace as the coffins come in view. They must have seen it coming when they turned to face the fire. They set us down to safety, then they kept on climbing high. Now every time I try to sleep, I'm haunted by the sound of firemen pounding up the stairs while we were running down. Of firemen pounding up the stairs while we were running down.
Beautiful.
You know, maybe this speaks to you. Back before it all began for me, back when I was still in Oklahoma, going to college and trying to learn folk songs from Weaver's albums and things like that. The thought I had was, I just want to be part of that. That it isn't just great music; it's something much larger. It's well, there was a very popular book of photographs back then called The Family of Man. And, you know, it was almost as if it was the Weavers in photographs because it was all over the world, humanity, families, and raising children and working and struggling. And this music, that was what it was about. So, what I wanted most of all was to be with people exactly like yourselves, a seat on the bus, and uh, whatever higher power I acknowledge has seen that's happened. So I am one grateful puppy. This is a song I've written during the pandemic. I've been writing like crazy using Zoom. I've been writing songs with John McCutcheon, with Kathy Fink, with these two wonderful young women from Michigan, the Accidentals. We'll be writing together tomorrow at noon. It's all over Zoom, and also a terrific young writer out in Colorado named Jackson Emmer. And you want to remember that name and not stumble over it the way I just did. Jackson Emmer. He's terrific. I don't have time to sing one of the songs we've written, but this is a new song that I wrote. I haven't written very many solo songs during, but I've been part of over 120 songs since March of 20. I want to dedicate this song to the memory of Gene Ritchie, who was from a generation before mine, and there was only one Gene Ritchie. Now, the person in this song I want to emphasize is not Gene Ritchie, but the song always makes me think of her and remember her friendship with love. She's down in the subway playing Carter family music on a battered old Gibson guitar. wearing blue jeans, a sweatshirt, worn out leather sandals. She is deeply singing out to wildwood flowers. I will twine, I will mingle in a voice of spun silver. She sings to the bleak passers-by. She's an underground angel with her mind in Kentucky and her heart in the sweet by and by. Far away across these wide blue mountains, some fine day I know I'm bound to ride. Ride the castles and kings and bright painted rings, far away on the blue mountainside. Far away on the green mountainside. She's down in the subway singing mama's favorite songs, songs that came from the land across the sea. Now a dime, now a quarter, in her guitar case will jingle as she sings of the lost Aurelie. And these songs from the cabin echo here on the concrete and remind her of your mountain sky. She's an underground angel with her mind in Kentucky and her heart in the sweet by and by. Far away across these wide blue mountains, some fine day I know I'm bound to ride. Ride to castles and kings and bright painted rings, far away on the green mountainside. Far away on the green mountainside. Far away on the green mountainside. Oh, thank you. I've told this story before, but once Phil and I were part of a group. I think Alex Dobkin was another, Carolyn Hester. We were down in Baltimore to do a fundraiser in support of the miners in Hazard, Kentucky. We'd been to Hazard the year before to support them as well. And now we were doing this concert in Baltimore, and it was in some theater. And I looked out my dressing room window, and it happened to be a view of the front of the theater. And lo and behold, there was a picket line in front of our concert. We were being picketed. I said, "What?" And I ran into Phil's dressing room and I said, "Phil, we're being picketed." He said, "Let's go." So we ran down the stairs, we ran out, and it was the John Birch Society that was fulminating against Tom Paxton and Phil Ochs, etc. All these commies and comm simps. And we tried to engage them in conversation, but they walked resolutely past us, refusing to make eye contact. And so we went back into the theater, just tickled pink. And I don't know which of us enjoyed it more, but I loved all those experiences I had with Phil. We were in Hazard together. We were in innumerable marches and concerts. And I always like to sing this song of Phil's. It's my favorite of his. And Joan Baez just sang it so beautifully. I sang it in a concert out in Colorado, and I hardly got into the first verse before I heard harmony coming from the wings, and out she came and sang it with me. Joan, if you're hiding any place right now, now's your cue. Show me the prison, show me the jail, show me the prisoner whose face is growing pale, and I'll show you a young man with so many reasons why, and there but for fortune go you or I. Show me the alley, show me the train, show me the hobo who sleeps out in the rain. And I'll show you a young man with so many reasons why. And there but for fortune go you or I. Show me the whiskey stains on the floor. Show me the whole drunkard as he staggers out the door. And I'll show you a young man with so many reasons why. And there would for fortune go you or I. Oh. Show me the country where the bomb had to fall. Show me the ruin of the building once so tall. And I'll show you a young lad with so many reasons why. And there but for fortune go you or I, or I, or I, or
Tom, this is Sonny.
Sonny.
Do you realize
Sonny.
you and I were born the same year a long time ago? I know
A
you,
long time ago.
and I know you have a birthday coming up the end of this month, so happy birthday.
I do. Thank
Yes,
you,
do.
thank you.
Yes.
It'll be 84 years.
I beat
I've
you.
been, I've
I
been
got
doing
the
this
info.
for 61 years now.
It's amazing. You've written so many fabulous songs, and so many of your songs people think are traditional songs. They fight and they say, "He didn't write that. That's a traditional song." But I know it was.
Yeah.
So you're still going, and I think it's. You tried to retire a couple of times, but I guess the didn't work. I mean, what else?
Well, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop touring. I have to stop touring.
I've heard that before.
I'm having so much fun writing with my friends, and I'll be doing a great deal of recording between now and next summer, and I think that's important. I want to get it. I want to get it all out
Well,
before it's too late.
make sure you put it on albums so we can get them, CDs.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
Good, good. And thank you so much for being a part of the show.
You're
You are
welcome.
the best. It's great to
Thank
see
you.
you. It's great to see you, if only virtually. All right. We're going to close the show with a young man. This is really, Tom, make sure you listen because this is going to get you. The guy's name is Zach Stevenson. And the reason I put him on last is that, well, somebody said about him, they said, a guy named Patrick Langston in the Ottawa Citizen said, Zach Stevenson doesn't portray Phil Ochs, he is Phil Ochs. And Tom, I think you heard him sing once and he blew you away. Well, now you're going to hear him again up close and personal. And he's won the Jeff Award in Chicago for Best Actor in a Play. He does shows about Buddy Holly. He does shows about Phil. He's just absolutely incredible. Zach, are you there?
I'm here, Sonny.
You're there. Okay, well, I met Zach years ago. We've become close friends, and he's the closest thing to Phil I know. So here's Phil, a.k.a. Zach Stevenson, closing out the show for us this evening. I'm so glad you came and watched. Oh, I forgot to thank Ray Mychick and Rod MacDonald for the work that they do every month. And Brandon O'Sullivan, you're a gem. You did such a great job with the sound tonight. Thank you so much. Okay, back to Zach. Okay, Zach, become Phil for us.
Sit by my side, come as close as the air, share in a memory of gray, and wander in my words, dream about the pictures that I play of changes. Green leaves of summer turn red in the fall, to brown and to yellow they fade, and then they have to die, trapped within the circle time parade of changes. Scenes of my young years were warm in my mind, visions of shadows that shine, till one day I returned and found they were the victims of the vines of changes. The world spinning madly, it drifts in the dark, swings through a hollow of haze, a race around the stars, a journey through the universe ablaze with changes. Moments of magic will glow in the night. All fears of the forest are gone. But when the morning breaks, they're swept away by golden drops of dawn, of changes. Passions will part to a strange melody, as fires will sometimes burn cold, like petals in the wind. We're puppets to the silver strings of souls, of changes. Your tears will be trembling, now we're somewhere else. One last cup of wine we will pour, and I'll kiss you one more time and leave you on the rolling river shores of changes. So sit by my side, come as close as the air, share in a memory of gray, and wander in my words. Dream about the pictures that I play of changes. Hey. Thanks very much. Oh, you know, it's always been a dream of mine to have a gig in Greenwich Village. So, you know, thank you so much for making this dream come true. It's not exactly how I pictured it. It's a lot like my apartment, but it's very cozy. I feel very at home here. Thank you so much. This is a real treat to be joining such company, following the legend of Tom Paxton. Thank you for including me among this group of peers. It means a lot to me. As Sonny mentioned, I kind of come from the school of theater, and was introduced to Phil when I was at college, and got involved in a dramatic production about his life, and have kind of gone through theatrical channels, but I also do some writing as well. I write my own songs, and you know, a couple years ago, when the end was near, I thought, you know, the world could use a love song of the times, and so I wrote this song. It's called "The End of Time," and I hope you enjoy it. It goes like this. I'm going to bring some of that reverb back, some artificial reverberations for mood. I will love you, baby, until the end of time. I will love you, baby, so please say you'll be mine. I will love you, baby, so darling, don't you cry, 'cause I will love you till the end of time. I will love you, baby, till we're swallowed by the sea. The earth can quake and crumble, but nothing rattles me. I will love you, baby, till the air's too hot to breathe, 'cause I love you till the end of time. If we are alive to see the apocalypse,
I just wanna know that you will tag me in the pics. I will love you, baby, through the alien invasion. We can be together in social isolation. I will love you, baby, if we survive this administration. 'Cause I will love you till the end of time. Love you till the end of time. Love you till the end of time. Well, I guess I'll close the night out with my favorite Phil Ochs song of all time. A song that's really about the philosophy of Phil and every songwriter we've heard tonight. This is a song that's really personal but also universal, and it's a song that has really stuck with me from the moment that I heard it. And it's a song that I know that I'll be playing my entire life. It's an honor to sing it for you tonight. There's no place in this world where I'll belong when I'm gone. I won't know the right from the wrong when I'm gone. And you won't find me singing on this song when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. I won't feel the flowing of the time when I'm gone. All the pleasures of love will not be mine when I'm gone. My pen won't pour a lyric line when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. I won't breathe the bracing air when I'm gone. And I can't even worry about my cares when I'm gone. I won't be asked to do my share when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. And I won't be running from the rain when I'm gone. I can't even suffer from the pain when I'm gone. Can't say who's to praise or who's to blame when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. Won't see the golden of the sun when I'm gone. And the evenings and the mornings will be one when I'm gone. Can't be singing louder than the guns while I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. And I won't be laughing at the lies when I'm gone. And
I can't question how or when or why when I'm gone. I can't live proud enough to die when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. There's no place in this world where I'll belong when I'm gone. And I won't know the right from the wrong when I'm gone. You won't find me singing on this song when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it. I guess I'll have to do it. Guess I'll have to do it while I'm here.
So much for liking Phil's music and playing it as much as you do. I know you've done shows of his music, and it is much appreciated. And I think people get a sense of who he was when they hear you do the singing. I don't know if you can see the poster behind me. This is the poster that we bring to all the Phil Ochs song nights, and I'm so glad to have it with me. You know, we're going to have a little bit more from Rod in a minute, but if you notice, Zach is the youngest member of the crew tonight, and there is somebody even younger that I want to give a shout out to, and her name is Tori Nelson. She's in her 20s, and she's doing podcasts on Phil that are just really professionally done. I cannot believe how good they are. So keep that name in mind. Tori Nelson, thank you, Tori. And as I said, she's in her 20s, and I've been hearing from other young people in their 20s and high school kids who are learning about Phil. She's gotten a whole bunch. She's probably introduced him to over 1,000 people. So he's going to keep on being out there for us. Rod, come back. I'm done.
Stay on the screen, Sonny. No, stay on the
bedtime.
screen. He's going to, I think Brandon's going to split us. There we are.
Okay,
Zach,
good.
I just want to say that was wonderful. And you know, I'm sure you've heard a million people tell you how you sound like Phil and have really got his style. But, you know, though I don't know you and I've never seen you before, you made me also feel like you kind of have his quality as a person. And that was a wonderful thing. I was sitting here misty-eyed singing along on that last song, probably like hundreds of other people out there tonight. And thank you so much for that. It was really beautiful.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Rod.
You're very welcome. I'm sure I'm going to see more of you in the future, and I'm looking forward to it. Sonny, great show tonight. Thank you, as always, for getting everybody together. And, of course, how can you go wrong when you've got such great material to work with in terms of the songs and everything, huh?
Well, thank you for trusting me. Because I know there were a couple of people in there you didn't know before, but you do now.
Sonny, I could never say no to you. You know that.
Like I said,
you've replaced my mom as a person I can't say no to in my life, I think.
Well, good. Remember, Rod MacDonald was in the first Phil Ochs song night in 1983, so we go back.
You and I met many years ago, but we don't need to go into that. Listen, let me make a couple quick announcements, Sonny, but don't go away. I got to say a few official things here. First of all, thanks to all our wonderful artists. I'm going to go in reverse order here. Zach Stevenson, Tom Paxton, great stuff, Tom. Good new songs. Emma's Revolution, Sandy and Pat. Pat, you have through the years become, I think, one of my favorite folk singers in the whole world, along with Greg Greenway, who came on before you, and Holly Neer, John Flynn, excellent work. SONiA, Disappear Fear, beautiful set. Reggie, great stuff. Reggie Harris, Colleen Kattau, excellent. Martyn Joseph, he's long gone. He doesn't know what I'm saying, but boy, I had been reading what a stellar performer he was in England, but I'd never seen him before. Great singer and performer. First class concert all the way, really great, inspiring to sit and listen. And I suppose I should mention I started off with the first song, so I'm officially one of the performers of the night with The Power and the Glory. And I want to say a couple things officially. Thank you, of course, to our wonderful tech person, Brandon O'Sullivan, who did his usual stellar job. Amazing how he herds all the cats and gets everybody together in time for the show. You folks at home, you really ought to be aware of the work that goes on behind the scenes to make these shows happen. Jerry Kornbluth and Andrea Klowski are web people. My co-producer, Raymond Misek, with whom we share the responsibility for getting everybody together for these shows, and we worked with Sonny tonight, who took a lot of the work off us. But while I have your ear, I should mention that we'll be back November 7 with a new concert. And I'm just going to read a list of the performers in no particular order. Ellis Delaney from Minnesota, with whom I had the great pleasure of sharing the stage on one of the Friday night Falcon Ridge concerts, along with John Flynn and Holly Near a couple times. And Ellis, wonderful. Looking forward to having her. It'll be her first time. Shanna in a Dress will be coming back with her pungent comments on contemporary life. Eric Schwartz, no less pungent on his own. Megan McDonough, wonderful singer. Howard Levy, great instrumentalist, songwriter, and keyboardist, and one of the truly astoundingly great harmonica players of the world. I drool every time I see that guy pick up a harmonica. And David Massengill, one of our longtime pals from Greenwich Village, with some new work. Tom Chapin will be here with us in November. Just back from Nova Scotia. The United States let him back in, so we'll be privileged to hear Tom. Debi Smith, who has a brand new CD out, and I believe we heard a song of hers just as the show was about to start tonight. If you were wondering all these hours who that was, that's Debi Smith of the Smith Sisters and the Four Bitchin' Babes, and a beautiful singer with a voice that seems to span 7 or 8 octaves, I think, as I listen to it. And my old pal John Cruth will be with us, the mandolin player from my mid-'80s band at the Speakeasy, and my White Buffalo CD and LP and cassette tape and everything else that came along the way. John has, for the last few years, been the leader of a group called Tribeca in New York City. John, little known to most people in the folk world, is one of the geniuses of every instrument that you've never heard of before. John is one of those guys that studio people call up and say, "Hey, John, do you know how to play a Wumbleflaga?" And he'll go, "Sure, I'll be there at 3 o'clock." And he'll find a music store to rent him a Wumbleflaga and a guy to teach it to him, and he'll show up and actually play it intelligently on the session. So John has been working with Tribeca and playing a lot of the other kinds of Greenwich Village clubs around New York the last few years, the Knitting Factory, some of the avant-garde clubs. And I have asked John to play at least one really weird thing for us. So I'm looking forward to that very much, because if there's anybody who can totally morph the boundaries of folk music, he's that guy. I'd also like to make a very interesting public service announcement that just occurred to me. A couple days ago, I got an email from a gentleman named Ron Cook, who is on KTAL in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And he is sponsoring a contest for the best new songs. And the contest, straight out of When I'm Gone, is called Louder Than the Guns. And he says in his notes, the phrase comes from a Phil Ochs song, When I'm Gone, but do not feel constrained by that. But what he is looking for is a song with emphasis on the lyrics and the music that supports them, not on the production values of the recording. There's an email address. I'll post it somewhere. If you're writing this down right now, his email address is ASSV4U, for the numeral. So ASSV and then 4U at hotmail.com. His name is Ron Cook. The deadline for the contest.
Those letters stand for a still small voice for you.
You know Ron, obviously.
Oh yes, he also sponsors the Phil Ochs Award that we've been giving for the last 5 years. He's an amazing.
Okay,
They are amazing people.
I didn't know that. I know Ron, but I didn't know he'd been doing that. So he needs an MP3 and an artist statement up to 100 words by October 15. And there are prizes, $1,000 for the best sound, $500 and $250 for the runners-up, and no entry fee, which is quite unusual for songwriting contests. Most of them are partly designed to make money for the contest holders. His is not. He's looking for songs, and I imagine that at a very minimum, the winners will get some money, and also quite a few of these song entries are very likely to get some radio play on his radio show. So something to keep in mind, folks, the Louder Than the Guns singer-songwriter contest. And we can certainly use some great songs. Ron calls his radio show music they don't want you to hear. So that gives you an idea where he's coming from. And Zach, that original song you sang, you ought to send it to him. That was great. Sonny, you're on the air on
Folk
tell
Music
us about
Notebook.
it. Well, I'm sorry?
I'm on Folk Music Notebook now.
You're on Folk Music Notebook, so your show is syndicated nationally. So people, do you know when you're on Folk Music Notebook by any chance?
Fourth Sunday of every month at 6 p.m., repeating at 11 p.m., and then the following Wednesday at noon. So it's
Great.
fourth Sunday every month, 6 and 11, and then the following Wednesday at noon.
Okay, and that's Folk Music Notebook. Our MCs, who I also especially want to thank, Christine Lavin, and Ron Olesko is the director of Folk Music Notebook.
He makes
And,
my show possible. He helps me put it together. I do it from home. What a pleasure.
And that's
Changed my whole life.
That's folkmusicnotebook.com. You get the station on the internet, not on the broadcast wave, so you can get it anywhere you are, just like you can get our shows anywhere you are. In fact, let's welcome Christine and Ron back on. Can you guys just come on and say hi?
Hello.
Before we sign off here for the night.
Hi, and thanks for the plug. I really appreciate it. And Sonny, thank you for doing this and inviting us to be part of it. This was one for the ages tonight.
I was just a puddle by the end. That Zach Stevenson is just unbelievable, and Paxton and Holly, everybody was so great. It was such an honor and a privilege to be part of this.
You know, as we're watching the show, I go back and forth to my big screen TV, so I'm not always watching on the computer. I kind of keep in touch on both things, but they're out of sync with each other, so I have to mute one every time I go to the other. But the thing I noticed, of course, is that by the end of the show, there are so many memorable moments that sometimes we forget how many there are at the beginning part of the show as well. Some really beautiful songs. And so for you folks who saw something along the way tonight that you'd like to see again, these concerts are archived. You can find them on GreenwichVillageFolkFestival.org. Give us about 24 hours. We usually take it down, clean it up a little bit, make sure everything's in sync, and then repost it. Same thing with YouTube and Facebook. So if you saw something tonight and you want to go back and hear it again, it'll be there, for the foreseeable future on our the Greenwich Village Folk Festival channel on YouTube or our website, GreenwichVillageFolkFestival.org.
Oh, and you know what? I'd like to say hi to Alan Pepper and Eileen Pepper in Englewood, New Jersey, who they watch these shows religiously. Alan owned the Bottom Line for 30 years, and this is where we'd be doing the show if we could be live.
You know, I was in one of the Phil Ochs shows at the Bottom Line, and my biggest memory of it was I did The Highwayman. And, The Highwayman is one of those songs that has a gazillion words, and they go by very quickly. And one of the lines was like, I don't know, I'm paraphrasing, he rode down the road in the dead of night or something like that. And I'm singing the song, and I look out, and there's this woman sitting right in front of me, and she's mouthing every word of the entire song. And I sing this line, and it's like, instead of I'm running down the road in the dead of night, it's I'm running down this road in the dead of night. Or, I don't know, it was one syllable. And she stops in the middle of singing right in front of me while I'm singing the song, and she's like right there. She stops right in front of me, puts her arms across her chest and goes like this and looks at me, like, you blew it, you idiot. for what was probably 2 letters of the alphabet or something like that. it shows you how passionate people are about Phil's work and how beloved it is and how it just lasts through time. And it's a great honor for us here at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. I think I can say this on behalf of my fellow co-producer Raymond Misek, and myself, and all of us who are volunteers here, that it's a great honor, Sonny, to present this beautiful music and these incredible songs. And so
thank you so
let's
much.
do it again another time sometime.
For sure. I thank you again because this will be the only official Phil Ochs song night for the year. And so that kept the string going now. So that's 38 years we've done it. Because
well, I just wanted to ask Greg Greenway, how long did it take him to memorize the Crucifixion song? Is he still here?
Yes, I'm still here. It took me until about 5 minutes to 8 this evening. I've been singing it for like 20 years. No, it's in my skeletal structure now. I mean, it's like seeing a movie. It's just so beautifully written.
You did an amazing job on that one.
Thank you.
Well, once again, before we say goodnight, let me say thanks to Greg Greenway and Zach Stevenson, Tom Paxton, Emma's Revolution, Holly Neer, John Flynn, SONiA Disappear Fear, Reggie Harris, Colleen Kattau, and Martyn Joseph for your wonderful music. And I'd like to ask you folks at home, please follow up, go to their sites, check them out, get CDs or listen to them on YouTube, download the music, keep the music going, keep the music alive. That's the most important thing. One final note, if you'd like to donate to support the performers from tonight's show, we pass on a very extreme percentage of what donations we get. We have a very limited overhead, and so almost all of the donations that we get go to the performers. And there are a couple PayPal addresses that you can send them to. PayPal.me-GVFF2020 is one of them. Also, if you don't like PayPal and you want to just send a check, there's a place to do it. I think it's Box 284, Jeffersonville, New York. I'm looking for it here real quick. There's like 100 messages over here in the chat. But I think that's the right thing. Somebody correct me if I got that wrong. Ray, did I get that wrong? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yes, it is wrong. It's box 234. 234.
Jeffersonville, New York, 12748. So if you want to donate at that address, you can do that. There's also a longer address on our Facebook page and our YouTube page and our GreenwichVillage.org page. And the advantage of using that is that PayPal doesn't take any fees. So we are a 501c3 organization and a nonprofit. So with that in mind, unless anybody's got something they want to ask, thank you all so much. The performers out there, a wonderful, beautiful concert, very inspiring. Thank you, Sonny. Good to see you. Hope to see you in person sometime before too long.
Nice.
It'd be wonderful if we could all get together and do this again live before too long. Chris, Ron, Raymond, and all you folks at home, good night from the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. Don't forget, we'll be back here 7 p.m. November 7 with another show, brand new music, and we'll see you then. We're going to cut the stream and say good night.